Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com here. Today I'm on Loire Chenin Blanc and I've got 8 of them, which is too many to fit into one video, so I've split them over 2, and I'm pretty sure the way in which I've split them, 5 wines in the first one, 3 wines in the second one, is absolutely wrong. But we'll get onto that when we get around to tasting them. And by the way, what do you think of this new camera angle? Someone said they don't see enough of my body, they want this much. And I know you all want to look at my body all the time, but if this is just too much, you put some comments on the video and tell me. So, first one I've got is a 2008 Monlouis. As I say, all these wines are Chenin Blanc. None of them, I think actually one of them does say Chenin on the label, but for those of you reared on South African Chenin or Australian Chenin, you really have to do a little bit of hunting to work out that these are made from Chenin. The Loire really splits into 3 sections. There's a section at the top where Sauvignon Blanc is king, there's a section in the middle where Chenin rules, and then you're down into Muscadet country. But we're in the middle of the Loire here. Monlouis. There's sweet Monlouis, but this one says sec on the label, dry. It's a really dreadful label. Let's see if it's a better wine. Well, it's got a slightly nutty, very green apple edge, which is very, very Chenin Blanc. Green apples. One of the things I heard someone say about Chenin, nut and vomit. Now that was quite a long time ago when people used to be really bad winemakers in most parts of the Loire. You don't get the vomit here, but you do get a bit of that slightly nutty character. And there's also something that feels almost like licking metal. I know you've done it. You've picked a warm key out of your pocket and licked it. I know you do that all the time, don't you? But I get that character here. It smells like it's going to be dry but rich. There's a sort of oily, unctuous feeling oozing from the glass. Yeah, dry. Some would find that acidity almost like a bit too much. If so, it may be that Loire Chenin isn't a wine for you, because for me the good ones always do have a bit of that quite severe backbone. So you're left with this appley acidity, but then round it there's this warmer, slightly bruised apple feel. There's green apples and there's bruised, almost like stewed apples as well. And there's this almost like raisin mineral edge coming through on the finish. Feels for me a little bit short. Not a great wine, but a nice wine. Shame about the label. Next label, slightly better. Vouvray. Cuvée Silex from Vigne Chevreau. It says on Vendange Manuel, which means it's been picked by Spaniards. Doesn't mean that, it's hand harvested. Anyway, 2008 again. Silex is a type of soil, and it's got, Silex is well, a lot of bits of the Loire have got quite a lot of clay in and limestone. This has got a bit more flint in, Silex. And it smells like it's going to be, it's funny, I get a bit of that, when people say that nut and vomit edge, I get a little bit more of that stony severity, almost that slightly, not stagnant pond edge. Bit of waffle there, but I know what I mean. But it smells like nice stagnant pond, if that makes sense. Yeah, whereas the Monlouis is quite gentle and forward, this has got a really severe backbone. And it feels very, very tight now. There's some of that apple intensity there, a bit of citrus too. And it feels like there's extra layers that really need to unfurl. There's a bit more exotic fruit characters coming through, maybe a little bit of passion fruit and guava and things like that. And there's this, yeah, this stony severity that's really nice, very attractive. A step up, but the Monlouis is for me the wine that is showing more forward today. That will be the one to drink tonight, maybe if there's some left, the other one tomorrow. Next one, Domaine FL, Le Chenin. It actually says Chenin on the label, although this isn't actually the proper label. All the technical and legal details are on the back, and it just says Le Chenin from Anjou, 2007 on the front. Domaine FL. If you've come across a Loire producer called Jo Piton, spelt like Python but with an I instead of a Y, that's sort of morphed into this Domaine FL. Now this is a much different beast. It's a year older and it feels like it's got an extra layer of oily richness. Some of that's going to come from the extra age. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few much riper grapes in here. It almost feels like it's been harvested quite a bit later. I don't know whether it's going to be significantly lower in acidity, but it feels like it's going to be a richer, riper, more peachy and pear-like wine. Still some of those apple notes there, but yeah, it feels like it's going to be a bit more user-friendly, really. Yeah, that's like baked apples. And apple sponge. You can almost feel that. If you've ever made one of those puddings where you've got apples on the bottom and then sponge on top, and you've not quite cooked it enough, and there's this layer where there's this still gooey bit of sponge and it's touching the apples, you get that like uncooked cake mixed with baked apples. Very attractive. But then coming through, you've got this Chenin backbone. Keeps it all from going wobbly. Favourite of the wines so far. And certainly the most attractive of the labels. Okay, now this is where I've probably got the order wrong. I've got 3 more dry wines. I'll do those in the next video. So, but they're all from the same appellation. But I'm going to move on to the sweet ones now. Coteaux du Layon. This is Chateau Pierre Bise, and it's from a little bit of Coteaux du Layon. Coteaux du Layon, Beaulieu, Bewley, depending on where you come from. Look, I mean, you can see a much deeper colour there. It's a sweet wine here, 2007. It says L'Enclé. I think that's a name of one of their vineyards in this bit of Coteaux du Layon. Now Chenin, because it's got this acidity, it means it makes wines that will age really well. Dry Chenins age brilliantly, sweet ones do too, and sweet ones, I suppose they're the sweet ones where they make from really late harvested grapes that are in good condition, but there are also ones where they've been affected by botrytis. And I get a bit of botrytis here and a bit of the, almost like the raisiny edge. I wouldn't be surprised if this were mostly botrytis, but with a few raisined grapes in there too. So you're getting those more exotic apricot, pineapple flavours there, but still with this apple edge. And again, you're moving almost like up the. If the first one was green apple, here you're getting more into the cooked apples, stewed apples, sweet stewed apples. It smells like it's going to be really tasty. Mama. Oh, it's rich and it's unctuous. And it coats your mouth, but then just when you think it's going to go all flabby, it's got this lovely Mr. Magic Duster acidity that just tingles your mouth up and makes you want to come back for more. Yeah, it's got this apple, this botrytis edge, so it's got the apricots, the pineapples, slight, if you ever opened a peach nut and bitten the kernel, the bit that's inside, it's got some of that. Very fresh, but very rich. Lovely combination of the two. Pudding wine or blue cheese, and if you're into it, foie gras type of wine. Oh, I like that a lot. Final one, another Coteaux du Layon. This one, again, helpful Chenin de botrytis. So, botrytis Chenin. Not quite as deep in colour. And it smells like it's got a bit more of a wood influence here. I don't know the precise details of the aging, but there's a bit of smoky influence, yeah, just a not big toasted wood character, but just something that's reining it in. If this one is sort of all wobbly and come hither, this feels like it's a bit more tightly wound and needs a bit of time to come out of its shell. Fascinating contrast between those two. Yes, this one feels like the Pierre Bise feels like it's really rich and unctuous. This one feels like it's almost more delicate. It's a finer flavour, it's not quite as gloopy. Both of them got this backbone of acidity. This one, you notice it even more, the Domaine FL. It's got a bit more freshness to it. This oak, which you could smell, is not really there on the palate at all. You're just getting fresh fruit. You're getting this lively, bouncy, mineral character jumping in and out. Very, very classy wine now. I like these Domaine FL wines. I've got another one of those coming up, but you're going to have to wait for the next video to find to have a look at that. In the meantime, I might just finish this glass. See you later.